Peace. This is a meat and potato sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today I want to talk about when the pendulum swings. As many of you learn and come to grips with, the universe is always in a constant state of flux. So it's always in motion. So, what that would do for the human being, eventually they're going to have to admit that it is not the most intelligent or who is the strongest that survives. It is the one who is willing to adapt. And you have to come to terms with that. So, what we're seeing is a fluctuation in music. And we're seeing this, and it's built up to an energy current after the Locks versus the Dipset battle, and now presently with the release of King's Disease 2 by Nas. And you have to understand something. When hip hop was in a state of consciousness in the late 80s or early 90s, the so called weakened powers had to neutralize that. Like I said, when you're in your teens and you're in your 20s, you're very impressionable. So they don't care about that, except that if they know you have children, because they don't want them to be the future metaphysicians. They don't want them to be the future occultists, the future activists. They don't want those to get in touch with their spirituality. And then the gods and goddesses who have been watching you and waiting will reach out to you when you take two steps towards them. So, what they do is they redirect the energy current. And there's various ways that they can do this because they've learned from Edward Bernays. You can turn something negative into a positive because it was saying the same Edward Bernays, who was the nephew of Sigmund Freud, that said smoking was liberation for women. He said that. So they have think tanks, they have research groups. But now, what many young people are coming to, as well as some older people, is that swagger or lower magic using glamour is not going to defeat or can so long take a precedence over hard work and dedication to your craft. So, is there a spirit that can help you with wealth, your alchemy, and your magic? Yes, it is the Olympian spirit Aratron. You would have to go through double faced Janus to get him to open the way or the gate for Aratron to come through. Now, one thing about spirits, which you have to realize with just about all of them, if you ever want to know if they are summoned there, besides using your pendulum and besides using the sigil, always pay attention to the temperature in your house. If it gets hotter or if it gets colder or if an object moves, that is a way of the spirit letting you know, whether it be Olympian, etc., that they are there, that they have answered your call. Because you have to understand something. Just like it takes a lot of physical and psychological energy for you to do a spell or a ritual, it takes a lot out of them to let you know that they're here. And the reason is that they are in a different realm than you. Okay? They're in a different realm. So if you want to be successful with your magic and your alchemy, you can work with Aratron. And then the thing about it, with at least 5 planets in retrograde, Aratron deals with the planet Saturn. And Saturn is about what? Restriction, discipline. So that's someone that you might want to work with. I will be giving the sigils to whoever wants to work with him. I highly recommend working with the planetary spirits. I highly recommend it. And pay attention to the shifts and the currents that's going on in music, because in the Apocryphal book, the Forgotten Books of Eden, in the book of Adam and Eve, they said how music would be used to misdirect children. So pay attention. As above, so below. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. You water, my friends. Peace.